This is Glenn Rice with Clearview Sewer Cams. We're located at 526 Amalfi Drive, Pacific Palisades, California, 90272. Today is December 8th, 2020. We're performing a video sewer inspection through a 3-inch ABS cleanout located just to the right of the front door on the side of the deck, front door deck here. And as you can see, this is our 3-inch ABS clean out here, and this is going towards our front door area here, and this is the front of our property. And I go back around, and we went ahead and zeroed out our camera monitor here. What we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and push out and just take a good look at the line and attempt to get all the way out into our city sewer tie-in. Let's pause here for a moment. Okay, what we're going to do is we're just going to pause here. We're going to switch cameras real quick and just attempt to, I'm having a little difficult time making these sweeps on these turns. So we're going to pull back and we're going to switch our camera to a smaller camera and attempt to run out. So we'll just pause here for a moment. Okay, we went ahead and switched cameras. And again, we are just to the right of the front door. On the approach to the front door, just on the side here, we do have a 3-inch ABS cleanout. And again, this is the front of the property here, and that's going towards our front door there. And what we're going to do is we're just going to zero out right here. And again, we're going to attempt to push out and get all the way out into our city sewer tie-in. I'm going to pause here for a moment. What we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and pull back from here. And we did locate another clean out at the back of the property in the left-hand corner in the crawl space. And what we're going to do is we're going to open it up there, and we're going to push out from there and attempt to get all the way out towards our city sewer tie-in, or out towards the front of the property. Very difficult time to try to push through here. And so what we're doing is we're just going to pause for a moment and relocate ourselves towards on the left-hand corner in the crawl space. There is another clean out. So we're just going to pause here for a moment. Okay, we went ahead and relocated ourselves again to the left-hand corner of the house, just next to the AC condenser in the crawl space. There's a 3-inch ABS clean out there, and as you can see, this is our crawl space here. That's our 3-inch ABS clean out. Here's our AC condenser here. That runs out towards the front of the property. We got a little shed here. This goes out towards the rear of the yard, and that runs out towards the backyard area. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and zero out our camera monitor here. And what we'll do is we'll attempt to push out from here, get out as far as we can, possibly hopefully be able to push all the way out into our city sewer tie-in. A little bit of a gap in that joint there between the black ABS waistline. As you can see there, it wasn't properly seated. We're just going to go ahead and continue to push out, and we are transitioning to what appears to be cast iron waistline. And this is just below the, in that rear corner bathroom here. And so I'm just going to go ahead and push through the cast iron waistline. Does appear to be in fair condition as far. Not too much buildup, not too much scaling. Possibly could have been hydrojetted or cleaned. It does appear to be fairly clean for the age of the house and the cast iron. So we're just going to push out slowly. Just take a good look at the joints. We're just going to continue to push out. There's a joint there. We're just going to continue to push out. We do have a tie in there. And again, as I mentioned, it does appear that the cast iron waistline had been possibly hydrojetted and cleaned. Just due to the age of the house and the age of the cast iron, it is in fair condition. Make a little bit of a turn, and make another turn here. I'm just going to continue to push out. And we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. And what we'll do is we're just going to continue to push out, possibly get up towards the front of our property there, and just locate an area to see where we tie in at the front of the house. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. And again, as I mentioned, it does appear that the cast iron waistline had been hydrojetted and cleaned. Again, due to the age of the house and the age of the cast iron, it does relatively seem to be free of scaling and buildup. I'm just going to go ahead and continue to push out. And as we push out, the cast iron waistline does transition to vitreous clay in this area, and as you can see, we do have a fairly large offset in this area here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pause here for a moment and locate this area. So we're going to pause for a moment. Okay, we went ahead and located this area, and it is at 3 foot 1 inches deep, and this is just to the right of the front door, and this is just in the planter area next to the clean out that was on the right hand side of the door, just off of the side of the porch there on the approach to the front door. And again, this is in the planter area. We did place an orange flag, and it is at 3 foot 1 inches deep. And as you can see here, as we pull back, you can see that we do have a fairly large offset here. So we pull back, you're holding water. As we pull back, you can see the full face of the pipe there. And very difficult to tell, but you could tell that the had completely shifted, and it does appear to have a crack there in this transition of the vitreous clay there, but you do have a fairly large gap here. As you can see, this is the edge of our pipe here, so it's completely broken in this area here. As you can see, the top of the pipe there, and my camera is just going straight into the soil there. So I'm pushing right into the dirt, and we're basically down into the soil. So all the waste right now is a lot of it is running into the soil and dispersing to the soil. So as you can see there at the bottom, you could see right around between the 9 o'clock and between the 3 o'clock and the 9 o'clock area, you could see the edge of the vitreous clay here. And then as we drop in, you can tell we drop in and it's completely broken this area. So we're just going to pause here for a moment. Okay, we went ahead and located this area, and again, it's just to the right of the front door in the planter area, next to the rose bush, and we did place an orange flag to identify the area at 3 foot 1 inches deep. And as you can see here, we do have a break in the line here. You can see clearly that the line is broken. As I mentioned, from about the 3 o'clock all the way around to about the 9 o'clock, you can see the vitreous clay, and as we push out, we drop down, and basically it is undermining underneath the sewer line here. So I'm just pushing out into the soil. And as you can see, as I pull back, you can see the joint. You can see the joint of the vitreous clay on the opposite side there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. We're unable to push out past this point. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull back. And again, we're transitioning back into the cast iron waistline. And again, as I mentioned, the cast iron waistline did appear that it had been possibly hydrojetted and cleaned. For the age of the line, it does appear to be no scaling, not too much buildup and scaling in the line. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And we did push out slowly and took a good look at the cast iron waistline. So again, we're just going to pull back. What we'll do is we'll relocate ourselves to the right-hand side of the house, make a little bit of a turn, and there is another 4-inch ABS cleanout located in the planter area on the right-hand side of the house. So again, we're just going to pull back. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And again, we're just going to pull back and up and out of our cleanout here and relocate ourselves to a 4-inch ABS cleanout located on the right-hand side of the house in the planter area. So we'll go back here, transition back into black ABS waistline, and we're going to come up and out of our cleanout. And we're going to pause here for a moment. We're going to relocate ourselves. Okay, we went ahead and relocated ourselves again to the right-hand side of the Again, we relocate ourselves to the right-hand side of the property, just in the corner here, in the right-hand corner in the planter area, to a 4-inch ABS cleanout, which is located in the bushes. And as you can see, this is our 4-inch ABS cleanout, and this is the front of our property here, and this is the gate there, and this runs around towards the front door area. So went ahead and zeroed out our camera monitor here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to drop down, just take a really good look and see if we can push all the way out into our city sewer tie-in. Make a little bit of a turn. Those appear to be black ABS sewer line. And as you can see, we do transition to what appears to be vitreous clay. And we do have a fairly large offset in this vitreous clay as well. You can see there's a large rock there holding. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull back and I'm going to attempt to jump this area and get up and over this. We're going to pause our mic here for a moment. Okay, we were able to get up and over that area. And again, what we're going to do is we're just going to push out with the attempt to get all the way out into our city sewer tie-in. And then what we'll do is we'll pull back slowly and take a good look at the line. And we're just going to try to push all the way out as far as we can and hopefully get all the way out into our city sewer tie-in. Push out. What we'll do is we'll pause here for a moment. We're going to locate this area. It does appear that there is a liner in this area, but we're going to pause here for a moment and take a good look. Okay, you're live.
Uh-oh.
You're live.
Okay, zoom?
Yep.
Okay, we are in the city sewer. We have quite a bit of water rushing past us. We're going to begin pulling back now. Okay, we're going to begin pulling back now, and that's the city sewer saddle area. And we're going to continue to pull back. It looks like we have a very thin liner, possibly, in the vitreous clay. It's very difficult to tell. Some areas it looks like there may be a very thin liner because it's kind of wrinkled up a little bit. Yep, there is a very thin liner. It's got a lot of wrinkles and bubbles in it. Yeah, now we can see it for sure. We do have a thin liner in it. Continuing to pull back. And now we're on the right-hand side of the house, right front corner of the house. There's a clean out.
See the numbers?
And we're going to continue pulling back. There's an ABS plastic, 4-inch ABS plastic clean out in the bushes. So far, it doesn't appear to be in terrible shape. You can see that stripe all the way along. If you're looking at the video, along that left side, there's a white stripe, and that's just that strip from the liner. This part of the liner is pretty smooth, and you can see some numbers at the bottom also in certain areas. Continue pulling back toward our mainline clean out. Still about 40 feet away. Making a turn. We have some ripples in there in the turn, which is very common. Now we have some good sized blisters right there, bubbles in the bottom. See down at the bottom right here, you can see where we have, you can actually see that blister come up as we pass by it. As our camera goes over it and we flatten it, and then it'll pump back up. You see it'll blister back up. So that liner's not in great shape in here. Will tear very easily. And looked like we had a little bit of root intrusion on the top up there, possibly on the liner. I'm going to continue to pull back. And now we have, can't tell exactly, maybe a root intrusion. We have a large offset right there. Now we're holding water coming back toward the clean out. And we're completely underwater. And we do have a lot of root intrusion in here. We have a whole lot of root intrusion, as you can see. We've got maybe about a 5 to 10% opening in that pipe, if that. We're going to continue pulling back. And that did pierce and puncture the liner. As you can see, you still have that white stripe along the left-hand side of the piping, but the roots have definitely intruded the liner. And here again, we have more roots, more root intrusion coming through the liner at the top a little bit. And continue pulling back. Now we have a very large offset right here, and that we're only out into the driveway area, about 4 feet out into the driveway area. We have a major offset right there, and that's where they started the liner. And now we have ABS plastic piping we transition back to. We have a major offset at the ABS plastic to vitreous clay lined piping. Keep pulling back and up and out of our mainline sewer cleanout, and that will conclude our video sewer inspection.